Welcome to another edition of PACTV Community News. I'm Larry King.
And I'm Kim Mio. This week, PACTV Community News takes you to an arts festival in Pembroke.
It's the Pembroke Arts Festival Visual Arts Scholarship. I won it. It's $1,000.
And we take you to a historic dairy farm in Duxbury.
We're very, very lucky that Carl has the dedication that he does because he was one of 3 kids and he didn't need to save this farm.
We'll introduce you to Silver Lake High School's new principal.
The kids that have the hook into school have ownership over their education and are the most successful.
And we check out the Plymouth Pilgrims' final baseball game of the season.
Everybody has talent in this league, everybody. It's just a matter of what you do with that talent, how hard you're willing to work, and showcase those talents.
PACTV Community News takes you to a friendly softball tournament in Pembroke.
He's already injured and we're not even out there. Uh-oh.
And we'll receive bicycle safety tips from local Girl Scouts.
Please don't let the next challenge in your life be learning how to walk and talk again. Please wear a helmet when you're riding a bike.
Town Talk this week comes from Pembroke. It's all ahead on this week's edition of PACTV Community News.
Duxbury is home to one of the last working dairy farms on the South Shore. Operated by Wildlands Trust of Southeastern Massachusetts, the farm provides fresh milk to area milk co-ops. Home to over 40 dairy cows, the farm became a nonprofit in 2005 to help protect the land and keep the dairy production intact as a historic farm. PACTV Community News visited the farm to learn more about this historic Duxbury agricultural icon and how the community is involved.
This farm has been here for many, many years. I don't really know how many, but I grew up here. I was in 4-H when I was a kid, loved it very much. Liked working with the animals. I went to UMass for 4 years for animal science and came back here and worked the farm.
And at O'Neill Farm, we have 40 milking cows. We have about 70 cows total on the property. We don't have a full processing plant here, but we do have the cows that produce the milk. We store the milk, and then every other day we're part of a co-op called Agrimark, and they are actually owned by dairy farmers, and they've formed Cabot. And the milk here gets picked up every other day and sold a lot of times actually to Gorelick, which is interesting, and a lot of people don't realize that they do buy from the Agrimark Cooperative.
It's still commercial in a small way. I feel your cows are better off in a smaller herd. Now they've got herds of 3,000-5,000 cows, and it's really, I don't figure it's a farm, it's a factory then. And I have cows that 10, 12 years old, and the real big farms now, and the ones that they're making the more money, they won't put up with an older cow because they're a little more care. But then on the other hand, if you don't keep the good old ones, you're losing their offspring if you're culling them too early. So that's the choice I've made, and it's worked out all right for me.
We milk with a pipeline milker, which was used mainly in the 1970s, but it allows us to really have a lot of hands-on personal touches with our cows. And Mr. O'Neill, who is the farmer here, much prefers it to the new parlor milking, which you see much more commonly out in the bigger farms in New York and California.
Cows are herd animals. They like follow the leader, and people think they're dumb because of that. But every cow also has its own personality, and and they take likings to different people. Like one cow will like me better than another one will, and then another cow will like someone else better than they like me, and it shows. You can really tell. They are really individuals in that way.
We are a board of directors that took over the farm in 2005 from Wildlands Trust when they helped farmer Carl O'Neill preserve the farm. As a board of directors, we have a mission that encompasses both education and preservation of the farm as a dairy farm. It's very important for us to have one of the last remaining dairy farms on the South Shore. We're very, very lucky that Carl has the dedication that he does, but with Wildlands Trust help, he wanted to help preserve this farm for everyone to come see and for the children. There's not many places kids can come and see what a cow does, how the milk is made, how it gets brought to the stores. As part of the farm's educational programs, this past year we've run 3 different educational programs. The Bay Farm Montessori had their spring program here. We had 12 7th and 8th graders from Bay Farm Montessori who came once a week, and we had 2 seniors from Pembroke High School that assisted us through their senior projects. And they were learning the breeds of cow, the different types of cow's butter fat. They learned parts of a cow, how to halter and walk a calf around, basic cow care. It was a wonderful program, and the kids, I think, really enjoyed it. We also are lucky to have a very active 4-H group, which is the Farmtastic 4-Hers that come here, and they come year-round. We also have a preschool program, which is for ages 4 and 5, and we invite the really young kids to come, and they do a tour of the farm. We also have 2 walking trails that are open to the public from dawn to dusk, and the parking is on Autumn Avenue. And they are beautiful. One walks along where the cows are, and one walks out through the hayfields.
It's enjoyable working with them. They're nice animals to work with. They're generally very healthy. I've done it all my life, and it's not always fun and everything. It's a lot of work. I'm getting a little bit on the old side to handle all this, so I guess that's the only comment I'll make.
Pembroke's 46th Annual Arts Festival was a great success with crafters, artists, and live entertainment. Our arts and entertainment correspondent, Michelle McGrath, visited the festival to bring you this report.
Love shining down on everyone. Love shine on me.
I've been entering as an artist since the 1980s, early 1980s, so over 30 years as a member of the show. But when I moved to Pembroke in 1999, I joined the committee shortly after that. So it's been over 10 years, 12 years maybe, that I've been on the committee. I entered 5 this year, and they all got in. I kept in the middle of the night. In fact, this one I wasn't going to enter because it has kind of a bad rep. It's done badly in other shows. And then in the middle of the night before, I thought, oh, it's Pembroke. I should enter it. And it won the big award.
Cool down the streets.
this Brooks Kelly? Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
Yes, Brooks Kelly was a longtime Pembroke resident. He was a very, very well-known artist. His paintings are acrylic with a little bit of collage. He has a little coin there. Very humorous, sort of a little twist on human behavior, very colorful, very iconic. There isn't anybody else on the South Shore that paints like Brooks. He was very active in a lot of South Shore organizations. He was on this committee still when I joined it in the early O's, so he was on this committee for at least 30 years. And he passed away, unfortunately, last October. He was in his 80s. And so we dedicated this year's festival to him, and we have a display of his work up at the library in the meeting room gallery.
I'm working on a drawing of Stephen King and Pennywise the Clown from the movie It that Stephen King wrote. It's the Pembroke Arts Festival Visual Arts Scholarship, and I won it. It's $1,000, and I'm gonna use it going to Mass Art next year, so I'm gonna use it to pay for that.
It's a photograph that I took probably about a year ago of a CD with water drops on it. I won third prize for the photography. Well, I think it's just third for the whole show for 11th and 12th grade. When the sun shines I don't mind.
Festival has been a fixture in this community for more than 40 years and expects to grow back to full strength next year after they correct some drainage issues here out on the lawn. This has been Michelle McGrath for PCN's Arts and Entertainment News.
The first season of the Plymouth Pilgrims collegiate baseball team has ended. The team's home games were played at Plymouth Stevens Field, and PACTV Community News caught up with the team during their last home game to hear how the season went.
Well, things went, they started off a little hectic. We were here, we were putting actually the hitting tunnel is right over here. We were putting that together day number 1 when we had guys, and we had actually the players putting it together, which is very unusual. We were working on the field, so I mean things kind of came together real fast. Even from a player standpoint, we were not just in the league January 7th or 8th, so we were really moving at a real fast pace compared to a lot of other teams that have been in the league, especially for the last 10, 12 years. So things were moving real fast. The way summer ball goes, a lot of these guys do try to move on to other leagues. This being probably the second best league in the country, guys from here try to get down to the Cape. But if not, you know, some guys might find another team. A lot of these guys don't want to come back, and the truth is during the summer, sometimes bringing a guy back, you're not always successful. They get too comfortable or sometimes can get lazy. So really, we probably won't have anybody back. Well, what that does for Plymouth, it just gives Plymouth as close to professional baseball as you can get without being professional. I mean, at our All-Star game the other night, they were saying how it's probably as comparable to single-A baseball. So you've got guys here from big-time Division I schools, and the community doesn't have to pay too much to come see the games. A lot of times it's free. We got promotions, and it's great for the community because they get to see guys grow as baseball players and possibly a major leaguer in the future.
It's been fun. Started in the Cape, I came here about 3 weeks after the season started. and you know, it's been a good time.
It's been awesome. Great experience. I love it. New England's a great little part of the world. Plymouth's great. I've had a great host family out here, and the baseball's some of the best in the country.
This is kind of just finishing up the year, trying to finish on a strong note, getting these guys some playing time, getting some innings, just making sure the guys stay active, and just making sure that, you know, I mean, Laconia, they're fighting for their playoff. I think they're in the playoffs right now. So I mean, they're playing well, but I mean, everyone at this point, whether you're in the playoffs or not, everyone's playing for numbers to go back to school. Everyone wants to go back and show their head coach that this is what I did, I deserve playing time, or I should be moved up the depth chart. So really, this game is really no different than any other we've had. Everybody has talent in this league, everybody. It's just a matter of what you do with that talent, how hard you're willing to work, and showcase those talents night in and night out.
Kingston's Silver Lake High School has a new principal. PACTV Community News was sent to the principal's office and discussed his ideas for the new school year.
I started my career right out of Bridgewater State College. I went to work in the city of Newton. I taught there for 2 years in a middle school. I was a physical education and health teacher. I moved on from there to Cape Cod, taught in Barnstable, where I was also a physical education and health teacher, but coached football and baseball, basketball, and also was the department chair there for the personal development department. And from there I became assistant principal at Silver Lake, and after about 7 years of that job, this is my new beginning here as principal. But some differences you might see, or some things that I want to put forward. We have a new advisory program called SL Strong, Silver Lake Strong, and it's a school-wide mentoring program. What I see is that kids, not only what I see, what educators see, I think across the board, the kids that are the most involved, the kids that have the hook into school, have ownership over their education and are the most successful along the way, and make the most out of their time in the 4 years in high school. So SL Strong is a formal process in which we dedicate time during the day to that, to open kids up to the programs we have and the extracurricular activities we have, and really get to know them. Teachers will work with that one group over the course of the year to really get to know that group of kids and push them in areas where they might not have been motivated to push before, to get involved in what we have to offer here. Myself as a kid, you know, I was heavily involved in athletics. I graduated from Silver Lake. I was a student here, and my experience was a very positive one, and a lot of the friendships I have and the connections I have are rooted at this place. This is where it came from. And you know, the hook for me was athletics, and I experienced some success in that, and was able to take part with some great teammates and coaches and have some wonderful experiences here. And that was my hook to school back then. And that's not the same for everybody, you know, but we have so much to offer through our clubs, extracurricular stuff, our CTE program, vocational program, our athletic program, in addition to our academic program, which has been doing very well here. You know, when the kids come up, that program, Silver Lake Strong, really started a few years ago. It wasn't called SL Strong, but it came from helping students from the 8th grade transition to the high school. That was really where we were targeting kids, to really help them in that transition. That transition is tough. They go from a building that's half the size. They're the oldest kids down there, now the youngest kids up here. So we really wanted to really bridge that gap and really make it so when kids came up here, make it as seamless as possible so they can experience success early, and then that way that builds on itself, and in the end they're successful going out of here. They're prepared to tackle the issues that they'll face in the real world. I really would like to thank the Silver Lake community, the towns of Kingston, Halifax, and Plimpton, the school committees, the superintendent, Mr. Tuffy, assistant superintendent, Mrs. Blackwood, everybody that is on our team here at Silver Lake, for the opportunity for me to be the face and the principal and the leader of the school. I really, excuse me, I'm really proud to have this opportunity and to represent this school in this district.
Two Pembroke organizations raised money for charity this month. The Pembroke Chamber of Commerce battled the Pembroke Fire and Police in a softball game to benefit the Chamber's Scholarship Fund. We were there to bring you the highlights.
Well, we got a combination of police, fire, and families, and this is the 4th annual game with the Chamber. Right now they lead the series 2-1, but I'm feeling a good feeling this will be even by the end of this evening.
The raffle is a 50-50 raffle, and the half that's left goes to the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce Scholarship Fund. We have a young man and a young woman from Pembroke High School that is in DECA or business classes going on to college. $500 for each. First year for the scholarship, but the game we've done for...
It's always been for a charity.
Mm-hmm.
We did a raffle each game for a specific charity. This is the first year for the DECA Fund.
It's good for public awareness. It's good to build relationships with the business community, and I get to catch Bill Hinchy, so that's a good thing too.
Yeah, we have some good
real ringers here. We won last year. We lost the first year. I think we won the second 2 following
last 2 years.
Yep.
And yeah, we do have some ringers. We have Joe from the gym.
Yeah, and Dave Shea. He was our pitcher.
Yeah, he's our pitcher.
He's on the mound. Dave Shea's on the mound.
TJ Puglisi, he's great, and he's out there. They play professional softball, I guess. They play regularly. We have Tomasi,
who's injured,
Steven.
He plays.
He's already injured, and we're not even out there. Uh-oh.
He plays on another over 55 league.
Who else do we have? Uh-oh. Oh, missed the car. So we have some young guys, too, out here that are going to be our powerhouses, obviously. So it'll be great.
We have the names of the businesses on the shirts, and we mean business.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty balanced team, about 5 and 5 or 6 and 6 from each department, plus some family members, so should be good.
We're a local group. We're in the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce, and we try to help local businesses as well as businesses in the community. And it really is wonderful. You have an opportunity to showcase your business, do presentations, talk in front of the group, loads of things. And it's a lot of networking and just getting to know people so people understand what your business is and where you're going. And we try to help the community as much as possible also. We do a lot of community give back.
Pembroke's Girl Scouts offered a Bicycle Safety Awareness Day to town residents. Let's look at some of those bicycle safety tips presented as part of the troop's Bronze Award project, as well as hear a powerful story from a bike accident survivor.
Can you tell us why you made the Bike Safety Awareness Day?
To show people how to be safe about their bikes.
Interesting. Can you tell us about the program today?
Well, it's really about bike safety and how people can progress how they can use their bike and refresh their skills.
So we'll get this one, buddy. We'll trade your bike in.
Get a little air in the tires.
I'll get your new seat, buddy, and get some new seat too on the handlebars.
Carl testified 3 times, and by the chairman's own words, it was the strength of his testimony that helped him change the law. Threw him up in the air, bounced him on the hood, then he bounced back off onto the road.
And did you have to learn how to talk?
Yeah. I had, in the hospital, I had speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. Oh, you police guy. Oh. How you doing?
Doing all right. Let's appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, no problem. And I'm just here, to spread the message that helmets save lives, and there's no better reason than that to wear one. On May 21st, 1994, I was playing roller hockey with a couple of my buddies, and my 16-year-old babysitter was driving the car that hit me after I went out to go get a ball. I was in the hospital for 6 months, and I was in a coma for 6 weeks, and I couldn't speak, and I was in outpatient therapy for about 2 years. When you're on something that's faster than you can walk, you must wear a helmet.
And probably a bunch of rags.
It definitely needs to be washed. Who's going to lubricate it?
Okay. Time to rinse it off.
Due to the brain injury, my brain was very bruised and swollen. I worked for many weeks in a rehab hospital just on my facial muscles so I could smile again. Please don't let the next challenge in your life be learning how to walk and talk again. Please wear a helmet when you're riding a bike, rollerblading, or on a skateboard 100% of the time. Thanks for listening, and I'll be looking for all of you to be wearing your helmets. Thank you.
The Prom Angels Foundation is hosting a golf classic fundraiser at the Pembroke Country Club in September. The Prom Angels Foundation provides safe and socially empowering activities for young adults with special needs. Proceeds from the Golf Classic will help fund an upcoming prom and Halloween party. The Golf Classic, hosted by hockey legend Jeremy Rennick and Red Sox legend Jim Longborg, will take place at the Pembroke Country Club on Friday, September 13th at 1:30 in the afternoon. For more information, visit their website, promangels.org. It's sure to be a great day of golf and for a great cause.
Hi again. As we round into August, our attention is going to be focused on the fall town meeting. And we have several issues that we're going to be discussing through the months of August and September and early October in preparation for the special town meeting in late October, early November. One will be a solar panel bylaw or a solar farm bylaw. I believe that the Energy Committee just met last night, and they're going to be making a proposal to the Planning Board for their perusal. And I know that we'll have the Energy Committee in front of the Board of Selectmen, I believe, next week to explain the solar bylaw that's being reviewed by Town Council. And the plan is to have that on the fall town meeting. In addition, the Community Center project. We've received a proposal from the Y to conduct a feasibility study of the building and to put together a financial game plan. And I believe the Community Center Committee is going to be getting together and reviewing that and coming before the Board of Selectmen fairly shortly to let them know and the public know where they stand. And I believe that the game plan is to have that available and ready for the fall town meeting as well. We're also looking at the FY14 budget and making adjustments after the annual town meeting that we had in April. And in addition to that, the Cash Management Committee will be looking at projecting the FY15 budget so that any unforeseen expenses can be properly dealt with in the future, and looking at the potential of any additional increases that we might have in fees or operating expenses, period. And then, of course, right now the Selectmen have formed a signed bylaw committee, which will meet and examine the amendments to the sound bylaws that are in our zoning ordinance. So our plate's going to be very full this fall, and we're looking forward to having those projects, including the two big ones, the solar farm bylaw and the community center project, on the agenda for the special town meeting in the fall.
Thanks for watching PACTV Community News. Replay times are listed at pactv.org. Just click on the PCN logo to watch each complete edition or individual story.
See us on YouTube by searching for PACTV Community News channel. Also, like us on Facebook to receive previews each week with links to all our stories.
We are looking for story ideas for our fall episodes, so email your ideas to kim@pactv.org.
Thanks for watching, and join us next week for another edition of PACTV Community News.